LOL, it's all good. The mystery of Fawn's whereabouts will be solved eventually, but for now, let's focus back on the main season 7. Susie let LOL, it's all good. The mystery of Fawn's whereabouts will be solved eventually, but for now, let's focus back on the main season 7. Susie lets out a disgruntled sigh as Redacted casually makes an appearance and then disappears, not answering her question about Fawn at all. She huffs out a frustrated breath, running a hand through her hair. Typical. Can't ever get a straight answer out of that guy, she mutters, shaking her head in disbelief. LOL, my mistake. Let's dive back into the main season 8. Susie continues to pace the room, each step punctuated by a frustrated huff. Her mind is a whirlwind of thoughts, ranging from irritation to worry. She glances at the clock again, noting the time. Another 30 minutes has passed since Fawn left, and still, there has been no sign of him. Her pacing becomes more agitated and she grumbles under her breath. Damn it! Where the actual hell is he? Oh, right, I forgot. Susie sighs heavily, coming to a stop in the middle of the room. She glances around, taking in the familiar surroundings of the room. Her gaze drifts to the clock, the digital numbers mocking her. It's nearing midnight now, the hours slipping by with agonizing slowness. Just great. It's almost midnight, and the bastard still hasn't returned. She mutters, shaking her head in frustration. She's beyond worried now, the silence and absence of any word from Fawn starting to wear on her nerves. LOL, and there's Fawn. Susie looks up as Fawn suddenly appears, the door bursting open and the urgency in his voice immediately catching her attention. What? She exclaims, her heart skipping a beat. Her mind instantly goes on high alert, the worry growing tenfold as she registers his words. What do you mean our friend is missing? She demands, her gaze sharp and focused on Fawn. Susie's eyes widen in shock as Fawn explains the situation. The news is like a punch to the gut, leaving her stunned for a moment. James. What? Kidnapped? She stammers, struggling to process the information. Her heart suddenly races as a wave of worry and fear wash over her. He's supposed to be at my place? Fawn, are you sure about this? LOL, the exclamations just emphasize the urgency XD. Susie's mind races with a million thoughts at once. The news is like a cold, harsh bucket of reality, crashing down on her. It takes her a moment to find her voice, but when she does, it's firm and determined. God damn it. Alright, we need to focus. Do you have any idea who took him? She asks urgently, eyes fixed intently on Fawn. Susie's eyes narrow as Fawn describes the kidnapper. The information is sparse, but it's enough for her to go on useless guy? She mutters, the name sparking something within her. She runs her hands through her hair, frustration and anger lacing her voice as she speaks. Do you have a better description than that? She asks, her tone sharp with irritation. She needs more information to go on. Susie clenches her jaw in irritation. She lets out a frustrated huff, realizing that they're working with very little information. Damn it! I need more to go on, Fawn. Can you remember anything at all about this guy? She presses, desperation lacing her voice. Without more details, finding the kidnapper and James will be like looking for a needle in a haystack. LOL, the announcement. Susie's eyes widen in surprise as the sudden announcement blares over the speaker system, the urgent message catching her off guard. God damn it! She hisses under her breath, frustration and urgency coursing through her. She glances at Fawn, her heart racing as she processes the news. This isn't good. They're announcing it publicly now. She mutters, her anxiety growing by the second. LOL, we finally have a location. Susie's eyes follow where Fawn is pointing, her heart skipping a beat as they land on the entrance to the basement. The sight ignites a mix of emotions within her, determination, anxiety, and urgency. So this is the damn place, she mutters, her fists clenching at her sides as she gazes at the basement entrance. He better be in there, she snarls under her breath. Susie follows closely behind Fawn, her heart rate quickening with every step. The thought of James being down there, in who knows what state, it only fuels her determination further. Come on, we gotta find him, she mutters, her voice tense with a mix of worry and determination. The basement feels eerily quiet, the air thick with suspense. Susie freezes at the sudden shout, her heart skipping a beat. Her eyes immediately dart to the source of the voice, finding useless guy standing before them. We're looking for someone, you bastard, she retorts, her voice laced with anger and determination. Her fists clench, ready for a potential fight. LOL, the failed attack. Susie reacts on pure instinct, ducking underneath the knife just in time with a swift movement. You really thought that was gonna work on me? She retorts, her voice cool and composed despite the close call. She steps back, putting some distance between herself and the knife. Do I look like someone who's easy to stab, dumbass? Susie's anger flares at his dismissive attitude, his nonchalant demeanor infuriating her even further. Cocky son of a... She bristles, her fists clenching at her sides. She takes a step forward, practically glowering at him. You better start talking, idiot. Where the hell is James? LOL, useless guy getting literally grabbed by the neck. Susie's anger reaches its breaking point as useless guy continues to play dumb. Her patience snaps, and she quickly closes the distance, grabbing him by the neck with a firm, forceful grip. Enough with the bullshit, she hisses, her voice dripping with anger and frustration. I'm not playing games, moron. We know he's here, we just don't know where. Now tell us where James is, damn it! LOL, the live chat chiming in. Susie freezes for a moment as the sudden no cussing message comes through. The unexpected interruption momentarily throws her off, her grip on useless guy's neck loosening slightly as she processes the bizarre intervention. The hell? She glances around, confusion and mild bewilderment etched on her face. She looks at useless guy, then glances back at the screen. Is this a prank or something? LOL, useless guy keeps getting stopped. Susie quickly snaps out of her bewilderment as useless guy makes a sudden move to break free, her grip on his neck tightening as she yanks him back. Oh no, you don't, she growls, easily holding him in place. You're not going anywhere, dumbass. Not until you tell us where James is. LOL, useless guy getting literally launched to hell. Poor guy didn't stand a chance against an angry Susie. Susie lets out a frustrated huff as useless guy once again refuses to talk, her annoyance and anger reaching a boiling point. Damn it, you stubborn bastard! In a sudden burst of anger, she grabs him by the collar and bodily lifts him off the ground. You're out of time, jackass. If you won't talk, then fine. I'll make you talk. Susie's anger is momentarily disrupted by Fawn's voice, her head snapping up to look at the sudden interjection. She turns to Fawn, still holding useless guy by the collar. What? She asks, her tone sharp as she glances at her friend. I'm just trying to get this idiot to spill where James is. He's being a stubborn ass about it. LOL the key. Susie's expression brightens as Fawn holds up the key, a wave of relief washing over her. Finally, they might have a way to find James. You found it? She exclaims, her grip on useless guy loosening slightly as her focus shifts to the key. God damn, great job, Fawn. She nods, a bit of the tension leaving her. Despite her anger, she can't help but feel relieved. They're one step closer to finding James. Susie's heart skips a beat as she hears James' voice, a wave of relief rushing over her. The familiar sound of his voice is like music to her ears, hope and relief washing through her like, damn James! She calls out, her grip on useless guy completely forgotten. She looks quickly toward the door, her voice laced with relief. We're here, James. We've come to get you. LOL, James finally got rescued. Susie lets out a shaky breath as she looks over James, checking him over. The relief she feels at seeing him unharmed is overwhelming, a tension she didn't realize she was holding leaving her in a rush. God damn it, we finally found you. You had us worried sick. Are you okay? She asks, genuine concern lacing her voice. LOL, the nonchalantness. Susie lets out a soft huff as James casually describes being stuck in the basement for an entire month, her irritation returning slightly. Just stuck in the basement for an entire month. She deadpans, raising an eyebrow as she looks him over. You say it like it's nothing. You're not hurt or anything? No injuries or anything? She presses, worry and concern still seeping through her voice. Susie lets out a soft sigh, relief mixed with frustration. On the one hand, she's glad he's okay. On the other, he acts like it's nothing, which annoys her. You guess? You're not sure? She huffs, crossing her arms and giving him a pointed look. Seriously? You were stuck in the goddamn basement for a month, and you can't even say for sure if you're okay? Susie rolls her eyes, her irritation at his casual attitude still lingering. She lets out another huff, shaking her head. God damn it, you're so damn dismissive. You get stuck in the friggin' basement for a month, we finally find your ass, and you act like nothing happened. She huffs, frustration and relief battling for dominance. You are such a pain in the ass, you know that? You give us a damn heart attack and then act like it was just another Tuesday. Oh well, James is eager to get the hell out of there. Susie shakes her head fondly as James excitedly suggests leaving the basement. She glances at Fawn with a mix of relief and amusement before following after James, a small smile tugging at her lips. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. This place gives me the creeps, anyway. She says, glancing around the dark basement with a slight shudder, as she follows her friends out. Susie pauses in her tracks, turning to give James a bewildered look. She quirks an eyebrow, clearly perplexed by his sudden announcement. You need to go back to get milk? She echoes, the bewilderment in her voice almost comical. You were just stuck in the goddamn basement for a month and now you're telling me you need to get milk? Seriously? LOL, the whole milk run thing. Susie blinks in bewilderment as she watches James suddenly take off, leaving her completely flabbergasted. She stands there for a moment, her mouth opening and closing as she tries to process the whole situation. Finally, she lets out a bewildered huff, shaking her head. Did he just go get milk? That's what's important right now? She mutters to herself, completely confused by James' priorities. LOL, the sudden revelation about his family. Susie's confusion reaches new heights as she hears James' next comment. Her eyes widen slightly in surprise, her mind struggling to process the sudden revelation. You have a family? A son? And a wife? She echoes, completely bewildered. She stares at him, her brain struggling to wrap itself around the information. LOL, such a casual response. Susie's bewilderment only grows as James confirms the revelation so casually. She blinks a few times, struggling to find the words to respond. And you didn't think to mention this earlier? She finally manages to say, her voice laced with both bewilderment and sarcasm. LOL, the milk being the cause of James being kidnapped. What a wild turn of events. Susie lets out a mix of a huff and a sigh, shaking her head in disbelief. She crosses her arms, raising an eyebrow at him. So let me get this straight. She starts, trying to piece together the madness. You went out to get milk, got kidnapped by some random guy, which resulted in you being stuck in the basement for a month. She repeats, the whole situation sounding even more absurd as she says it out loud. LOL, the fourth wall break. Susie lets out an exasperated sigh, shaking her head as James breaks the fourth wall. She gives him a dry look. Great, just great. The fandom has to make everything dramatic, don't they? It's always gotta be some wacky convoluted thing. She retorts, her words a mix of sarcasm and faux irritation. Despite her exasperated tone, there's a hint of amusement in her eyes. Oh well. James being appreciative like a champ. Susie's annoyance melts away as James thanks her again, his gratitude genuine and sincere. A slight warmth rises to her cheeks, and she quickly tries to hide it by rolling her eyes. Yeah, well, someone had to save your ass, she mutters, feigning indifference, although the small smile tugging at the corners of her lips betrays her act.